Hey, welcome back to another episode of Metal Master Fab Shop. My name is Matt, and this is Layla, and today I'm going to be replacing this cab corner out with a new one. Alrighty, so like I said, we're going to be putting in a new patch panel. This is from AMD, which is Auto Metal Direct. I think they're out of Georgia. Anyway, it's going to fit over here like this and pretty much go all the way over. I just want to get it all the way over here. I probably will utilize this whole patch. Some of you guys might not have to, but as you can hopefully see right here, there's a little punch mark or something like that, and there's just a bunch of Bondo in this panel. So I'm just going to cut as much of this out as I can because it's all pretty rough. So I'm going to get all this removed and kind of just sand down, kind of see where this Bondo ends and stuff like that. Also going to come around this side. There's a lot of Bondo to be removed, and I'll show you here in a minute, but there should be a series of spot welds going down through here that'll be on this panel right here. So that's the next step. Going to get everything kind of laid out and rough cut so we can start fitting up this new panel. Got the panel cut all the way around to here, which the panel is going to end up coming probably up here somewhere. But basically what I'm doing now, I'm going to get this wire wheel. I'm going to come down through here, and it's going to kind of start exposing the spot welds. Hopefully you can see that. Right there's another one. So I'm going to continue going down through here with that wire wheel, just trying to expose all these that I can. There was a heck of a lot of Bondo. I gave them too much credit by replacing them. I guess all they did was cover them up with Bondo. So getting all that old Bondo off of here, it wasn't even welded anywhere to the new rocker that they put in. So like I said here, I did cut all the way around, as you can see. So that's pretty much just loose and flapping at this point. But gonna get these things cleaned up and drilled out real quick. Alrighty, so I have this cab corner pretty much fit up to where it's gonna be. It's just kind of roughed in still, but it gives you an idea. It's a little bit better than what we had on there for sure. So you can see where they just had a hole in there and just filled it in with some Bondo, like a lot of people do. So getting this out of the way is gonna be a big improvement. I do want to mention that in here I'm probably going to have to massage that a little bit more, the panel itself and also this rocker, and it'll fit a little bit better also once we get all this metal behind here trimmed out of the way. But now I'm going to come in here and kind of scribe me a little line across here, and then that'll give me a pretty good idea where I need to cut. I'll probably go down just a little bit farther than my scribed line. That way I can kind of come up on it, you know, kind of just try to creep up on it instead of, because I mean if you cut here and it ends up being way high or something, you got a gap. I mean, filling sheet metal gaps is not fun, and it's just a lot more work on yourself. So just cut 45 times and weld once is basically what I'm trying to say. So let's get this thing traced out and hopefully tacked in here in just a second. Alrighty, so like I said, this isn't going to be like perfect where it's going to be. You can see the body lines are off because we're getting held out a little bit, but there's still being sheet metal here. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to clamp this right here, and that's going to get us pretty dang close to where we need to be, and then we'll scribe a line Alright, so that's going to be pretty close. And then I've got this, it's actually an automatic center punch is what it is, but it's plenty sharp to do just a little scribe line. So I'm just going to go around this thing everywhere it needs to be cut out. Then we'll probably drop down 1/2 inch and start cutting this thing out. Alrighty, now that that's all done, we can pop this off real quick and see what we got. Alrighty, I don't know if you guys can see that from over there, but we've got a scribed line all the way around here. So basically what I'm going to do now is drop down between 1/4 and 1/2 inch, and I'm going to cut all this out real quick. Then we'll try to fit this up here. Of course, I'm going to get all this metal off over here on the corners where it wraps around and it's spot welded. And then we can hopefully put our panel back on there and get us a lot truer mark and everything like that. Then we'll just start kind of slowly creeping up and test fitting this thing, and hopefully here in a minute it'll be ready to weld. Alrighty, so I'm going to be coming in here as I showed you earlier in the video, and I'm going to be kind of getting these spot welds out. And if I can find it, there it is. I'm going to be using this die grinder with this kind of carbide bit on here, burr bit, whatever you want to call it. And basically I'm just going to be knocking these out. And then I've got like a little chisel over here that's designed for splitting body panels. I'll show you in just a minute. Alrighty, so I just found out that the second half of all that really didn't get filmed because the lens kind of creeped out and zoomed way in. So basically what I did was came in here with this. This is that chisel thing I was telling you about. And you just get in between your body panel here, and basically it just splits that body panel, and you can hammer it all the way up through there and it'll just split those spot welds. What we had on here like that, you can kind of tell those spot welds are all split now, and that came off. So I'm going to kind of wire wheel around on this a little bit, and then I'm going to be mocking that back up again, and then we'll just kind of start slowly coming up on this line that I've got scribed around here. I think you can see that, but that line goes all the way around. Like I said, it's a little bit high from where it is, so that's what I wanted though. So we'll get that thing test fit back up here. Hopefully it fits a lot better now that that body line's out of the way and everything, and it'll be a lot more flush, and then we can start creeping up on the actual cut. I went ahead and got this thing fitted pretty good and clear-coated in. That way it's not moving around and I won't make a mistake on laying this thing out. I am going to have to come over here and kind of slice this and push this back. And that's not really the panel manufacturer's fault, because I mean this truck is just anything but straight. So I'm pretty happy with the way it's all turning out. Everything's lining up here. I did hit the hammer and dolly a little bit just to get everything pretty perfect. So I'm pretty happy with the way it is. body lines and everything are pretty close on this thing. As you can tell, it's pretty good. So gonna start working on getting this cut out and then prepping everything, and then hopefully get this thing burnt in here in a minute. So I've got everything fit up here, and basically this corner here, it's a little tight right in here. So what I've been doing, I've got these clamps here that on the back side here, they have like a little like a wedge or something that goes in between there and basically holds those two panels together. And what I've been doing is I've just been slowly working this thing with the file, as I'm just trying to kind of creep up on it, but I'll basically just push this in and file this corner here until this gap here starts closing up a little bit. So I'm just going to continue to work on that and just kind of slowly filing away at that and test fitting that up and hopefully get this gap pretty good. It's not too bad. There's a couple highs and different places that I'll go back here and mark, and I just want to make sure this panel is as close as possible. Got some of the stuff kind of welded and tacked here and there, and we're just going to kind of continue on with all this. But it's fitting up pretty good and everything's lining up. Body lines are pretty solid. Alrighty, so now that everything is welded up here and I've got it kind of smoothed off and everything like that, I'm going to address this part here. Everything lined up from there over. So what I'm going to do is make a pie cut relief in here. Come straight down here at the slitting disc, and then take a little bit out here also. Then I'll hammer this in to where it's flush with this, and then weld this seam up, and then come through here and weld up all these plug welds to the inner door structure here. Got that all tied up and looking pretty good. So I feel the body lines line up pretty sweet on it. Door gaps pretty much the same as it is all the way up. So I'm happy with it. I got a couple little holes here and there. I may end up going back and just kind of tacking those and filling them in, but that worked out pretty good, just pie cutting that out and then just welding it right back up through here. and then just kind of blending everything. But everything's looking good on this old truck. So. Alrighty, so that's going to wrap this one up. I think that the new cab corner here is quite a bit better than what was in the truck. So I'm pretty happy with all that. Obviously I'm going to be doing the passenger side as well, which I don't have time to do that in this video, but hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea on how to replace one of these cab corners. I'm not a body man by any means, so if I can fake my way through it, surely you can do the same. But thank you for sitting around and watching this video with me and everything. It was fun getting down and getting this thing done and everything. So huge shout out to you guys for sticking in here, and I'll see you on the next one.